Welcome back to 16 by 9, the bigger picture.
Hindsight may be 20/20, but what happens when the promise of perfect vision goes wrong? 16 by 9 goes undercover to find out exactly what patients are being told before they trust their vision to the surgeon's laser. Here again is our Sean O'Shea.
My name is Jason Campbell. I'm from Antioch, Tennessee. My dad decided to get LASIK because eyesight was a very important part of his job.
Officer Larry Campbell was a well-respected and highly decorated police officer.
He was just like a loyal, good-working police officer who, supported his family and worked really hard.
In 2007, Officer Campbell was told he needed glasses. He decided to get LASIK instead. Things didn't go well.
His eyes were always dry and very sensitive to pretty much anything in the environment, in the air, and it constantly burned. Eventually, he got really depressed about it. Sometimes he didn't even want to wake up in the morning. And I asked him, like, Dad, you would never kill yourself, right?
But on March 16th, 2008, a terrible thing happened.
Usually my father would come home around 5 o'clock after work, and he just didn't come home that night. And as time went by and it got to 6 o'clock, we were like, where is he?
The 54-year-old husband and father of two never did come home. On his 25th anniversary as a police officer, he parked his cruiser and shot himself with his service weapon.
If I could see my dad, right now, I would just say I miss him and I love him.
Officer Campbell's suicide note left no doubt about the reason he took his life. Do not have LASIK surgery. Tell the media. My eye surgery has taken my life out of me. The pain, distorted vision, chronic dry eye is not bearable. With his dad gone, Jason is carrying that warning to anyone considering LASIK.
I guess I would just ask them how important not wearing glasses is compared to risking your life falling apart.
Plenty of others have tried to warn the public too. There are dozens of websites dedicated to LASIK horror stories. And when 16 by 9 put the call out to hear some of them, the replies started rolling in.
The pain escalates throughout the day, every day.
Every day of my life, I am reminded of this horror.
Suicidal thoughts come and go.
Complaints of halos, starbursts, and blurred vision. Dry eyes that itch and burn. Dry eye sufferer Sherilyn Guillemino researched the risks before her consultation, but couldn't find solid numbers.
So I asked my surgeon. He said that doesn't happen. If you have the surgery, within a week, a month tops, you'll be normal.
But there are risks, and Canadian Ophthalmological Society spokesperson Dr. Guillermo Roca says patients must be told.
We need to present the information to them, knowing that there are potential risks.
16 by 9 decided to find out if clinics really are telling patients about potential risks. We went undercover at 3 Toronto area clinics, starting with the Yorkville Laser Eye Center.
Hi. Good, how are you?
Our producer went through a series of tests and discussed the results and options with 3 different people. And when asked about the risks, this is what they said.
Oh, wow. If I have glares or starbursts, what about night vision?
It's not an issue anymore, night vision. And like I said, right after surgery, it is. And it could last up to 3 months, but after that it gets better.
There's not really any chance of long-term things.
No.
That's right. They said no chance of long-term problems. But we wanted to make sure, so we asked again.
So if that happens or there's any side effects, they eventually always go away?
They do, yes.
Next, we went to this clinic, LASIK MD. Same story.
And so those glare and halos and that goes away?
Yes. And again at Herzog Eye Institute, we were told any complications are minor and short-term.
Your eyes are dry.
Yeah.
And then how it goes away?
Yes, it does get better.
Okay. That would never be permanent.
No, it's not permanent.
All 3 clinics gave us pamphlets outlining risks. But in consultations, we were told none of them would be permanent. We wanted to find out why. LASIK MD and Yorkville Laser Eye Center declined our request for an on-camera interview, providing this written response saying, surgery of any kind has some degree of risk of long-term complications, even if that risk is remote. Patients are informed about these risks at several points during their learning process prior to the procedure. The medical director of the third clinic, Hindsight Eye Institute, agreed to talk to us. Dr. Sheldon Hindsight says every patient should be told there are serious risks.
Absolutely. Every patient should know exactly what they're getting into.
And that means?
And there is risk of serious damage to your cornea. There is.
But wait, listen again to what they told us.
That would never be permanent.
No, it's not permanent.
Nothing about any serious risks.
So nobody told the producer that there were any risks in that particular consultation.
But that's wrong.
But we didn't hear that anywhere we went.
Well, you should. You'll hear it from me. I tell every patient.
We didn't hear that from your staff here. We didn't hear that in any of the other offices. Why wouldn't we hear
Once
that?
a patient gets on the path, the optometrist should be telling them that. Absolutely. Why the optometrist didn't tell them that, I don't know. I have gone over the list of risks, exactly what they should say word for word.
So word for word, they should be saying there's a serious risk to your cornea.
Yes. And absolutely. You don't have to hide things from people. This is a wonderful, wonderful, safe procedure. Do it on the right person, do it the right way, and the risk should be as close to zero as possible.
So how high is the risk? We wanted to ask the government agency that authorized the first use of the LASIK device nearly 20 years ago. Health Canada declined an on-camera interview, but listen to what they told us in a written response. Dry eyes, halos, and ghosting are all known and reported complications of laser eye surgery. Device labeling reports these complications as occurring in approximately 10 to 20% of all patients. A complication could be short-term or long-term, minor, or serious. That's right, device labeling, something patients don't get to see, backs up Morris Waxler's claims.
Frankly, they don't really know the exact adverse event rate because they won't come to grips with the fact that these things that are adverse to the patient should be counted as adverse events.
Adverse events or complications, whatever you call it, Sherilyn Guillemino says nobody told her she could end up like this.
It's disgusting if they don't disclose it and they know the information. Everything I do, I have to consider how it's going to affect my eyes. I mean, they're uncomfortable most of the time. It's just, how is that worth it? Who would want that?
Coming up on 16 by 9.
If you want a chance to play a hero, here it is. And I think that the truth is that no matter where we are, we're all exposed to chemicals.
That's all coming up